Here's, in my opinion, where people miss the most. You see, this case has $5 million worth of insurance, and this case has $10,000 worth of insurance. They are different cases. I get that. But if both parties were treated the same, what do you want from each one of them tomorrow?
You want a review. You want your customers to be, raving fans of yours.
Correct. So this $10,000 case could refer you a $5 million case. This $5 million, they're going to refer you cases. 9 out of 10 of them are going to be $10,000.
Yeah.
People are equal and deserve the same service, same as in my business. We have people that spend multi-millions, and we have a couple of partners that spend less than $1 million. But you know what they are to us? The same.
Welcome to Harry Handles It, a podcast where we dive into the world of personal growth, success strategies, and everything in between. I'm your host, Harry Nalbandyan, and today we're going to chat with an incredible guest who has some amazing insights to share. Remember, no matter what life throws your way, I'm here to help you handle it. So let's get started.
Welcome to the Harry Handles It podcast. Today we've got great guest Gary Sarner on, who is a legal marketing radio expert and is the owner of ROI360 Plus. Gary, good afternoon or morning. How are you?
I'm great. It is 2:30 here, 11:30 in LA. So it's both.
There you go.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks for being here. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about what you do and your company?
Oh, man, I'm an old fart. So I started in radio in 1987. I'm going to assume that your dad hadn't even thought about you yet at that time.
Plus or minus.
And I spent 35 years in sales and management of radio stations. And I opened up what people will call an ad agency. I call it a radio advocacy. And when I started this, the legal profession was like, nobody listens to the fucking radio. That's why we're all on TV. I'm like, okay, well, as one by one fell down, we now spend over $60 million in legal marketing on the radio.
That's an impressive figure.
And I guarantee you, you would say to me, you don't listen to the radio.
You might be right.
I might be right. I also would bet that you would say, if you were asked, do you eat at McDonald's? You would probably say no.
That's not true. I was there Saturday.
Bingo. And you do listen to the radio too. You just don't realize it.
That's a good point.
So it's I'm in the business of helping people. I happen to work with attorneys, but my real goal is to help end users who need attorneys and are scared shitless to call you. And it's amazing with the depth of contacts that I have across the country to hear so many law firm owners that really don't understand that their customer really is scared out of their mind to call you. Do you know why?
No, can you tell us more about that? That's actually the first time I've heard that.
Attorneys are expensive. And then you have people who use this fun, fancy word called contingency. Now, just for fun, let's say you've only had 100 clients in your career. Just keep it simple. And you were to ask all 100, Harry, do you know what contingency means? What percentage do you think understand that of clients?
Approximately 0%.
Bingo. Which is why They think you're expensive. They don't understand the word that's marketed more than anything else. What is it that a personal injury attorney's client wants more than anything else?
Justice.
Justice, and number two or number one.
Either the life's back or a big settlement at the end of the day.
So they want to feel 100% whole.
Yeah.
Now, you're in the business, the personal injury business. I'm just marketing to help you find people. Most cases are soft tissue. Those are easy to help get people back to normal. But that small percentage of catastrophic cases where surgery is needed, those people rely on somebody like you to get them to the right place, to get them well, and then to help them recover. I'll tell you a funny story. I have a friend, many years, calls me out of the blue. Not going to say what market it's in. Her son got into a car accident. Who should I talk to? I set her up with an attorney, and there's this much insurance on the other side. And her poor son needs surgery. He's out of work. He may lose his house. And she's yelling and screaming that the law firm should sue the insurance company. And I understand her as a mom who cares about her child and her grandson. But you can't make something happen that's not there. And it's so funny that it's like all of a sudden I'm interviewing you. But think about this. How many times have you had to have that hard conversation with somebody who counted on you to help them? Now, you did. You actually helped them. But because of the way law firms market, and in LA, it is no different than any other city. You see the billboards, my lawyer got me $1 million. Because nobody's advertising, my lawyer got me $22,500. Right?
Yeah, 100%. You're right.
But what percentage?
Don't post that on Instagram.
What percentage of people get 22.5 versus $1 million?
More often than not.
And I don't want to know anybody who's been through that hell to get $1 million. That go work for it. Go earn it. And then they get mad at guys like you who earn a very handsome living. But without you, they couldn't get anything except taken to the cleaners.
And they even when lawyers are hired, they still try to take them to the cleaners.
Oh, yeah, well, but that's where you put up your dukes.
That's right. Come through me first.
It should be the first phone call. And again, I think if there was more legal marketing about the benefits of what you do versus the recoveries that you get, you know what term would be gone? Ambulance chaser.
That's an incredible point, actually. That's a very, very good point. And I try cases in front of juries, and I have to bring this topic up every time. And a lot of times people say, I'm sick of seeing these billboards, millions of dollars, it's all about money. When it's really not. It's about giving that human being who was involved in a life-changing event the opportunity to try to get back to who they were before. The only thing we can do is compensate for that with money. It's wild.
But when you look at it as a whole, and I know you don't listen to the radio because we've established that, but you do watch television or videos or streaming.
Correct.
And you see those commercials, and more often than not, it's about money, which, and again, I'm only one person, and I work for law firms to help them reach the public. Well, they see that shiny advertising with the dollars. They say, I want that. Okay. There is a clientele that wants that. But there's a larger portion of people that actually want help, not just a check. It's a wild industry profession that you're in. By the way, I have two children, one that just graduated law school and another one graduated in April.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. And one wants to be in PI and is going to be in PI, and one is not.
That's awesome. And they have a good reference and an influence, definitely, to get them through.
But trial work's so important. I'm glad to hear that you actually get in front of a jury, because that is so important to have that confidence.
I think that's number one. I mean, especially for the consumer. If you're hiring a lawyer who is not an operator, who is not a technician, who can't go to court on your behalf, it's kind of like hiring a pilot who hasn't really flown that much and flies in their imagination. I mean, that's not going to serve in your best interest. And one thing that you said was interesting that I want to hear more about is how in your opinion does radio advertising bridge that gap between the consumer who's afraid to call the lawyer and actually getting him in touch with the lawyer?
So this is the quagmire everybody has, right? 2% of the population will need a personal injury attorney this year.
That's a good number of people.
It's a huge number of people, but 98% won't. So, legal marketing should establish one thing and one thing only first. What is the brand? What do you do? And how can you be reached? Now, in your radio or TV commercials, any lawyers, you could talk about a car accident, a truck accident, a slip and fall, nursing home abuse, medical malpractice. There's just a gamut of things. If nobody needs you, why does all that matter? Now, do you see my pen?
I do.
This is a Pilot G2 10 crappy pen. But we could sell this pen to anybody with the right story, make it sexy enough, and have the price right. We could sell a shit ton of these pens overnight. I could speak about how amazing you are, Harry. The best lawyer in America at 35 years old, tried more cases than any other 35-year-old out there, and won and got verdicts for 10, 20, $30 million. I mean, I'm making you exciting.
I like the energy.
But if somebody doesn't need you, why would they ever call you? The pen? I could sell millions of pens tonight. I can't sell you and all of your accolades to anybody. But what I can do is make sure that they know who you are, they know what you do, and they know how to reach you. Now, here's a great one, because most of the lawyers that I have done podcasts with are a little bit older than you. Did you grow up in LA?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Did your parents have a home phone?
Yes.
Do you know what that phone number was?
Yes.
Okay. Give me the name of somebody in your office that you talk to every day.
Right. Kimberly.
Kimberly. Do you know her cell phone number?
No way.
Who's your best friend?
Gary.
Do you know his phone number?
No.
But
Contact
you know
person.
your mother's home phone number, that you haven't been home in 18 years. The world today is about ease. Call Harry. Call Harry in LA. However, it's set up in the phone. So, as I have conversations like this, forget a podcast, but just talking about marketing, I want to use my vanity number, my repeater number. I want to have this special website so I could track my marketing. Well, guess what? I can tell you right now, whether you advertise or don't, 95% of the people that find you are going to find you on Google. But for those that use radio, TV, billboards, top of the funnel marketing, their brand sticks out. So when they go online and they do the search, oh, I see that person all the time. I like his voice. Oh, he looks smart. Oh, I want a young, tough guy. Others are going to say, I don't want a young attorney. I want that old fart that's done it for 35 years because he's going to do it better. But the reality is, nobody knows who's really going to go fight for them. And just like that story about the other woman who wants them to sue the insurance agent, the insurance company, you can't sue an insurance company for something that's not there. But the end user looks at the law firms as being able to get any amount of money because my lawyer got me $1 million is the ad they see. Well, every lawyer should be able to get $1 million. But there's that fine print right on the bottom of the ad that says, not all results are the same.
I do feel like that is a little misleading to the consumer, right?
It can be. But then again, there are law firms that do market without speaking about verdicts and settlements and speak about who they are, what it means to them, what justice means to them. You know Bob Simon?
I do.
Justice HQ. I mean, what a great name, right? Justice Headquarters. It's brilliant. Now, look at your last name. I'm not even going to attempt to butcher it right now, but say it.
It's tough. Nalbandyan.
Na
Nalbandyan.
Nalbandyan.
Well done.
You think anybody's going to remember that?
0% chance.
0% chance. Are you married?
I am.
How long did it take your wife to figure out how to say it?
Pretty quick.
She loved you.
But we had a cheat code, so it's okay.
She loved you. But if you were a marketing attorney in broadcast or on billboards and you put your name up there, and look, we are all proud of who we are. But in marketing, it has to make it easy for the consumer to find you. And as easy as it is to butcher your name by the average person, your client, unfortunately, is not an average student. It is a below average student in general, and not all. So a name that is easy to remember works. And now, let's say it's a law firm with 4 partners. I happen to have a client in South Carolina, partner of mine, Miller, Dawson, Siegel, and Ward. Well, that eats up 5.5 seconds of a commercial. So they go by the trade name, the Thumbs Up Guys.
That's great.
It's fun. They do great legal work, but what they understand is it's tough to remember Miller, Dawson, Siegel, and Ward. But it's not hard to remember the Thumbs Up Guys.
I literally had this same conversation with our team earlier this quarter, and I said, "Look, if we're going to venture into the traditional media space, we need something different than Levin and Nalbandyan. It's great, that's our firm, but people need a way to remember us. That's a little less than those two mouthfuls."
Right. Well, I brought up earlier Brett Sachs. Now, that's not the hardest name in the world, but you could spell Sachs 6 different ways.
True.
MVP accident attorneys is really freaking easy. And most valuable player is you. Not us. You. And when a law firm makes it about the client first, goes back to the old adage, do good, good keeps coming back. If law firms looked at every case the same, now there's more work that needs to go into some than the others, but if they were all the same, how do we get the best recovery possible for the client? The law firm's going to make money always. Always. People are put into buckets inside a law firm. I'm sure you talk about culture inside your firm.
Big time.
Culture matters. So the client, here's in my opinion where people miss the most. You get the lead, it's a case you want, you sign it up, now you're doing all the discovery to make sure everything's there. And you see this case has $5 million worth of insurance, and this case has $10,000 worth of insurance. They are different cases. I get that. But if both parties were treated the same, what do you want from each one of them tomorrow?
For their cases to end, right?
After their cases ends, what do you want from each one of these cases?
Oh, of course. You want a review. You want your customers to be, raving fans of yours.
Correct. So this $10,000 case could refer you a $5 million case. This $5 million case where you got full $5 million, they're going to refer you cases. 9 out of 10 of them are going to be $10,000. Right?
Yeah.
So again, people are equal and deserve the same service, same as in my business. We have people that spend multi-millions, and we have a couple of partners that spend less than $1 million. But you know what they are to us? The same. Because if the one who spends less than $1 million is happy, they have friends in the legal business. They should refer us, in my hope, because they get great service. Same with you. You might not get policy limits on something, but if the client feels like you gave your all and you did your best, they will send you people like family forever. You ever read reviews on other law firms' pages?
Sometimes.
It's scary, right?
I feel like that's where that's the final place where they can finally say, I got you, if they're having a hard time communicating effectively with their legal team.
Well, I could promise you this, working with 25 law firms across the country in 35 markets, the number one reason a client is dissatisfied with a law firm has nothing to do with their recovery. It has to do with communication.
Yep, and service, big time. I 100% agree with you on that.
And lawyers are notoriously bad at returning phone calls. And then you know who follows suit? Case managers and paralegals. They do it like their pod does it.
Like on this subject, do you have a standout success story of a firm who's used radio to benefit them in their community?
I'll tell you a great story. We have a partner in Michigan. Largest verdicts in Michigan, 20 years running. Truck attorney. You might have heard of him, you might not. Steve Gersten, Michigan Auto Law. He speaks a lot all over the country. I happened to be at the TBI conference in San Diego 2 years ago. There were probably 1,800 people at that conference, all to learn about traumatic brain injuries. And then they had this one room for marketing. And it was my turn to be on stage, and there were 12 people in the room.
That's
Three
hard.
of them were other vendors who are friends. So we go through everything that we were talking about, marketing, top of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, all that stuff. And this person who I didn't know, Steve, comes up to me and he's like, I really liked what you had to say, but I'm a trial attorney. I'm different than those advertising marketing firms. I said, you are. You do different work. You as a trial attorney, get in front of a jury with no fear. He says, but why do these other firms that don't do that get these great cases? I said, very easy. They invite people to do business with them, and you don't. But if you did, and you stayed true to your brand, right? We talked about the money grab, and we talked about the person who wants to get well. Well, as an advertiser, as a law firm, you get to portray the story you want to tell. Now, you might not get thousands of leads by not talking about money, but you will get leads and you will get cases. And hopefully, if you educate people correctly, you're going to then keep the ones you want. Because that's the beauty of your business, right? You sign a client up today, you do enough digging, you could do one of three things. You could keep the case and handle it.
Right.
You could turn it down and say, unfortunately, Gary, you don't have a case here. We did, we found out all this stuff. There's no case. Or three, you could refer it to another firm. That is a choice you have every day in your business. So tell your story the way you want to be perceived in your market. So you could go up against Sweet James. By the way, everybody wants to be, and I'm using them as an example, a Sweet James, a Morgan & Morgan, a Lerner & Rowe, an Anajar & Levine. But you know where all those firms started?
In a conference room.
In a conference room. And marketing, here's where everybody will say, here goes Gary with his line. Marketing campaigns are measured in years, not months or weeks. And the hardest thing for somebody like you, Harry, to do is to make that commitment and put your balls on the table, because it's your money. You work so damn hard to help your clients. And as you put that money in the bank, you could do two things. You can take it all home to your family. It's your profits. Or you could reinvest it into your business. Now, you're also the only business in America, and I challenge you to come up with another, that if you invest for 1 year in marketing, and let's just keep it simple, you're going to invest $100 a month, $1,200. You're not going to see $1 back in this year unless you're really lucky.
Yeah.
So, to make the investment as you start building your caseload, your book of cases, all of a sudden you see, okay, I spent $1,200. My average recovery, I got 100 cases. My average recovery is $30. Your 1,200 turned into 3,000. Not bad. You just don't get to see the money this year.
Yeah. Takes a little bit.
So I say to anybody who's looking to start marketing, top of the funnel, and building a brand, year one, we want to get as close to break even as possible. Now, if you have several years under your belt, and you could sit there and say, my average fee is X, and be comfortable. So again, for shits and giggles, let's say the average fee is $10,000 for the firm. What would you spend to get a $10,000 fee case?
$5,000.
$5,000. So there's your math. If you were to spend $100,000 a month, okay, 100,000 divided by 10,000, the first year you want to average 10 clients a month. Year two, because now guess what you have? You have a year of building a brand. Year two, if we grow to 14 on average a month, guess what? You're helping more people. And oh, by the way, your cash register is ringing more often. And you have people in your firm that are cash registers. And then you have people in your firm that don't generate money at all. How do you make the best use of your staff so you could help more people and recover more money for people? I dumb it down and make it sound easy. I know it's not easy. Trust me, I know it's not easy. But I watch every firm that I work with, how they go about it and the way they look at it. And the ones that don't look at it on a day-to-day basis and look at it quarter by quarter live much better lives. Because the shitty day, and I get those calls all the time. Dude, we got 6 cases today. We got 32 yesterday. I said, great. So you got 19 a day.
Nice.
But that's not how it's looked at, and it drives somebody crazy. We're all going to have down days. We're all going to have great days. What does it look like over time?
Yeah. Averages.
And if you were to speak to John Morgan, and nobody could outspend John Morgan. Nobody. First thing people ask me when we go into a market where Morgan & Morgan is, how the hell are we going to compete with them? You're not competing with them. You're only targeting the people that you want to target. They're going to get business because they're the biggest. They're going to piss people off because they pound their chest that they're the biggest. And then there's somebody who wants Harry. And however you mold Harry as you grow your law firm, you will get exactly who you are intentional in finding over time.
That's a good point. And with that, what innovative strategies have you used at ROI 360 Plus to help law firms achieve their targeted clients in markets that may be saturated with people who are outspenders?
So we deep dive the market first. Who's on TV? Who's on radio? Where are the billboards? 98% of the markets out there, TV is saturated first. Then we look at the radio. Black and Hispanic radio is saturated first. Now, most firms do not look at black, white, Hispanic. But if you were to ask most firms who they want to target, you know what they're going to say?
That
Black and Hispanic. Well, I could tell you there's a few markets that we're in where we target only Anglo because we're fishing where nobody else is fishing. Now, I don't think that we get the volume of cases, but you could sign up. If you sign up 50 cases and you got to get rid of 30 of them,
that's a waste of time.
but if you could sign up 15 cases, and oh, by the way, maybe you have consumers that have uninsured, underinsured motorist coverage, which we know 25% of the population is driving without insurance. You can't pick who hits you unless you stage the accident, which is happening all over the country. There's that much fraud all over the place.
It's awful.
It's awful. But if you go with a more high-end targeting, they're going to have that type of coverage. They're going to have umbrella coverages as well, which the average person does not. Now, if I were to say, is it safe to assume that you earn in excess of $100,000 a year?
Pretty safe.
Pretty safe. The people you associate with in your social life are like you. The people that you associate with inside your law firm, not your employees, your clients, they are not like you. If you were to ask most of your friends, do they have uninsured motorist coverage? If they said no to you, you bitch slapped them.
I do have a habit of doing that, yes.
But that's so important. And when you look at how large legal marketing is in America, guess who outspends all lawyers put together?
Insurance companies.
Insurance companies. So, Liberty Mutual, we sell you what you want. Think about that. What does everybody want? They want the lowest price policy they could get. How hard is it for an insurance agent to say, Harry, you know what? You're going to get your this coverage, but I implore you to please invest another $4 a month and get a $25,000 uninsured motorist policy. You think they'll ever say it?
No, most of the time it's the opposite. It's I can save you $1 a month if you cut your coverages and put yourself at risk. It's awful.
It's just wrong.
Big time.
And that's why clients get upset, because I signed up with you. I unfortunately got hit by somebody who's got no coverage. All of a sudden, it's your fault that I'm not getting the recovery, right?
Yeah, we've heard that before.
They don't want to understand that, because the marketing, my lawyer got me $1 million. My lawyer got me $1 million. It's fucking bullshit. Think about the number of cases, percentage-wise, that are $1 million. It's that big. But that's what people remember. Or they could remember We're going to help you take back control of your life, get well, and recover the maximum that's available to you. It's going to resonate with some. It's not going to resonate with the person who wants $1 million for
nothing. Yeah.
So what made you become a lawyer?
Honestly, it was the desire to help people. There was an event that happened early on where one of our family members was seriously injured. And I don't feel like they got the closure that they really deserved. And I really felt like the lawyer you hire is the biggest difference maker in not only the person's ability to recover, but also the family as a unit to get some closure. And if you don't know any better and you hire somebody who can't do the job that they're supposed to do, it could really destroy not only that person's life, but everybody else around them for not being able to get that closure that they should get. So early on, when I decided to go to law school, the number one thing I wanted to do was try cases. I wanted to be the trial lawyer who's able to get the clients whatever they get, however they get it. And I wanted to take these insurance companies and the governments to the mat, because that's where you really make the difference and be able to get the clients what they truly deserve if you can't get it with the settlement. Most cases settle. But like the old adage goes, speak softly but carry a big stick. And so that's what really drives me, and that's what gives me purpose to do this and help as many people that we want to help and keep growing so that we can help more people in the community, so that nobody falls into that category of I wasn't able to get closure because my lawyer sucked.
So I want you to think back to the beginning of what you said. There's your commercial. Because guess where that came from?
Right here.
Right there. And did that sound different than every fucking commercial you hear in LA?
It does.
Now you just hone that with the right team around you. And then, this is the hard part, you put your sack on the table and you start investing that money. But I will tell you this, something that I learned from all my years in business, longer than you're alive. If you use the word, I want to try this, I promise you, you'll fail. If you say, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to help more people than I ever dreamed of helping, if I just let time take its course. Think about this. When did you open your practice?
2019.
2019. So you almost got 5 years.
5 years as an entrepreneur. Yeah.
Okay. Your first year in business, do you know how many clients you signed up?
Like 50.
50. 50. That's 4.2 a month.
It was a good year.
Hang on. 2024. How many clients will you sign up?
All in with all practice groups, thousands.
Thousands. Did you forecast that in 2019?
Not as vividly and as concrete as the vision is today, but there was always a desire. Yeah.
So, but you saw what happened by putting in the effort, the work, the team, the culture, all of this.
1,000,000%.
It just happens because good doers get good back. Now, you still have to do great work to get the referrals. You have to treat people well. I hear more often than I care to hear what a pain in the ass some clients are. Well,
So
guess
what?
what? That's every business in America.
Exactly.
Doesn't
Welcome
matter
to
what
customer
you do.
service.
But you have some clients who just want to get better. You have some clients that just want to get a fucking check. Which one would you rather help?
To get better.
It's human nature. The hardest department inside your law firm is intake, right?
Yes.
And what word
Yes.
would you use that they all need to be when they
What
speak
word?
to a potential?
Empathetic.
Oh, okay. So this is my favorite. You ready? To be empathetic, you have to put yourself in the position of the other person. They lost a family member in a car accident. How many people in your intake team have lost a family member in a car accident?
Good point.
Well, hang on. So zero. I hope, I pray, zero. So then we could go to sympathetic. Okay, you can't be empathetic because you've never been through it, and it's hard to put yourself in that position. Sympathetic, here's a new word. Have compassion.
There you go.
Make somebody feel like they called the place that has been able to help thousands of people just like you. And with compassion and actually listening, and I listen to so many freaking intake calls, it's scary, that are pathetic. Hold on. How do you tell somebody to hold on after they just told you that somebody died?
You're bringing up PTSD from intake calls that we listen to too as well. It's the same.
Have you ever hired an intake specialist to help you in your company?
Specifically as a consultant? No.
Okay. That's probably the best investment you can make. Now,
Who do you recommend?
we'll do that offline.
All right.
We'll do that offline. There are several great ones, and look, you know what? There are several agencies out there doing what I do that are great also. I always recommend somebody speak to 3 or 4 experts, because the one thing that matters most, in my opinion, in a business relationship is the ability to be able to speak openly and honestly with one another. And not all of it's going to be rosy. If I did your marketing, right? And you are now signing thousands of cases up, which means you're signing, let's just call it 15 a day. And you have that day where you have one sign up. You know who you're calling? Me. Because it's my fault.
I we just had I literally had this conversation yesterday. Friday we signed up 35 cases. Monday it was 2. What happened? Literally the same exact conversation. But we didn't call the marketing company to say what's the problem there. We did our own root cause analysis and are finding out the whole.
I would venture a guess. The way the phones were answered on Friday and the way they were answered on Monday was very different.
Bingo.
And the hardest thing to look at, and look, we fuck up at the agency.
Everybody does.
But I tell my staff, make a decision. If it's the wrong decision, we can fix it. No law firm is going to go out of business. Nobody's going to die over the wrong commercial or the wrong spot placement. But my goal is not the negative that's going to happen, but to empower them to learn. Because do you have children?
I do.
How old are your kids?
3.5, almost 2, and one's cooking.
All right. Mazel tov.
Thank you, brother.
The lessons that we impart on our children are very similar to the lessons we try to impart on our employees.
Yeah, you're right.
How many case managers do you have in your firm that were never a case manager before?
Oh. And the best case managers are the ones who were never a case manager before.
You know why?
That growth mindset, open mind, they're
And
willing to learn.
you trained them the way you wanted.
Yeah,
Your kids, your two plus, they learned from you and your wife. Probably a different place than normal to do this. Two rules that could not be broken. Never get in a car with anybody who's had a drink or a drug. Don't have unprotected sex. Everything else, mom and I could fix.
that's smart, actually.
So here's another great one for you, because you're going to need this one more than anything. What are your kids' names?
David and Jolie.
David, Jolie. I just want you to remember this. As you get older, mom and I will become smarter. Because you have no idea how dumb you are. And if you think about it, reverse it.
100%.
Your parents gave you lots of advice that we all don't listen to. What the hell do they know? They're old people. They grew up in the olden days. And it never changes.
It doesn't. It's that same cycle over and over again.
But today, when you look back at all the mistakes that you did make, that your parents had given you advice on, and you still took the chance, fortunately, they were small mistakes.
They were. And I'm thankful for that every day.
Love. Here's the best one. I was getting married the first time. I've been married and divorced twice. But we're in the car, and my father says to me, for some strange fucking reason, this woman wants to marry you. But you have no idea what love is. You don't understand mom and I, and you really shouldn't. But the moment Pam gives birth to your first child, everything will make sense. In a moment. Now, you don't love David and Jolie different. You treat them different, but you don't love them different. But I didn't know what that was until Sydney was born 32 years ago. But it changed my life like that. By the way, how a law firm deals with their clientele with care and compassion can change the perception of lawyers every single day. Because there's no other profession other than car sales. And guess what both are put at? The bottom of the fucking barrel. But people don't realize what a difference you really make in this world. And that's what you should be proud of.
I love that. That resonates so much within me because, and just to tie it back again to trying cases with juries, every time I picked a jury, nobody wants to be there. Why am I here? Waste of time. I have work. I have this. And every time we're done with a jury trial, all the jurors come, they talk to us, they say, wow, what an incredible process. I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to be involved in it, to be able to make a difference in somebody's life. And every time I do that, it gives me goosebumps, and I have goosebumps right now.
Have you ever been defensed?
Absolutely.
Did you have the jury come up to you and tell you the same thing?
Sort of, but in different ways.
But isn't it interesting that the process, whether you win or lose, and you can't win them all, the process is still the same. Your arguments, your opening and your closing, the words are different, but the process is still the same. How do you get great at processes. And again, you may or may not know who I'm going to bring up. You should, from being from California and in LA. The name John Wooden.
Not immediately ringing a bell.
He was a legendary coach of the UCLA Bruins basketball team.
This makes sense. I have zero sports knowledge, so this makes sense, and I have heard the name.
Okay. But John Wooden would take his team every year. Everybody had to take their shoes off. And then everybody had to put them on and tie them. Because we all do it the same. We all walk the same. Then his saying was, perfect practice makes perfect. So I get you're not a huge sports guy, but you know that there's 5 basketball players on the court.
Yes.
5 on 5. John Wooden in practice took his starting 5 players and they practiced against 10. You know why?
That's pretty cool.
It would slow the game down. So when it was 5 on 5, they were lightning fast. Tactics matter in law no different than they do in sports. If you don't practice and get prepared for that trial, you could tell everybody on your team, we're going to lose because guess what? I didn't prepare for this. Now, just because you're prepared doesn't mean you're going to win. But you cannot win if you did not prepare.
Of course. You don't even have a chance.
Well, guess what? Have you ever gone up against a defense attorney who was unprepared?
Yes.
Have you ever watched somebody on the plaintiff side that went in unprepared?
Yes. It's not a pretty scene.
But is it... So, again, if that perception is understood by the public, you told your story. I met you 57 minutes ago, and I know more about you and how you do work than you think I do. Because guess what I did? I asked you questions just like you asked me.
And now you know.
People want to tell you their story.
Gary, it's an absolute pleasure speaking with you today. Thanks for dropping all of those golden nuggets for us. Tell our viewers where they can find you.
I can be reached on Instagram, Gary Sarner, or ROI360 Plus. My cell phone is 954-560-6371. Harry didn't write that down, but you could listen to it.
I got the transcript.
I'm not in the business of just selling. I'm here to help people. And whether somebody could hire us or not doesn't matter. If you have a question about marketing, I'll be more than happy to spend a half hour with anybody.
You're the man, Gary. Thank you for that.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us today on Harry Handles It. I hope you enjoyed our conversation and found some valuable takeaways. If you're facing challenges in your own life or business, remember that you're not alone. Together, we can handle anything that comes our way. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review if you liked what you heard. Until next time, keep pushing forward and handling life with confidence.